Okay, so good morning everybody. Here we are, Friday, I think it's the 17th of June, and we are going to start off with some standing. So let's get ready to stand. So we're going to take our feet hip distance and spread our toes. Let's just soften our knees and think about our weight dropping down onto the mat. And first of all, we will put too much weight onto the front of the feet. So if we lean forward, so you notice that you've got too much weight there. And then we are going to rock back, feel the heels in contact and your toes beginning to lift. And then come back so you can feel the weight distributed evenly between front and back of your feet. And then similarly, let's just put too much weight on the outside edge of the feet. So you might find your big toes, the joint of the big toe lifting. And then let's collapse it in the other way. So you're bringing too much weight on the inside of the feet. And then you'll find your knees tend to knock together a bit if you do that. And then go back to the balance between front, inner and outer foot, and back and front foot. You can just sway around a little bit, and as you do that, notice the change that you feel in the pressure on the foot. That's it. And then we're coming to a place where you feel we want an even pressure throughout the foot. So let's just soften our knees a little bit, and we'll just send the fingers down to the floor, roll our shoulders back and down, and we'll send the crown of the head up to the ceiling. So while you're doing that, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit. Let's see. Breathing. Yeah. Lovely. And then we're just going to inhale. Bring the arms up. Just hold them there. Soften the knees and exhale down. Let your knees soften. Inhale. Stretch the arms up. Wiggle your fingers and down. And again, inhale. Stretch the arms up. Wiggle your fingers and down. Lovely. Okay, make sure you've got enough space behind you. We're going to soften the knees again. Inhale. Stretch up to the ceiling and down. Inhale. And down. Inhale. And down. And change direction. Inhale. Stretching up. Bend the knees. So as you come down, just soften the knees. That's it, lovely. And release. Lovely. Now just check that you're far enough away from the wall, because we're going to make circles now with our right arm. Keeping our chest as forward as we can manage. I mean, you might turn a little bit, but don't turn too much. Don't overdo that turn. Lovely. Now, soften the knees. We're going to go the other way now. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Lovely. Shoulders down, away from the ears. Great. And release. Change arm. So left arm. Let's get that breath going. In through the nose, out through the nose. Okay, changing direction. Lovely. Okay, and shake your arms a little bit, and we'll try that with both arms now. So soften the knees, inhale, forward to the side. So as much as, go back as much as you can, don't worry if it's not too much. Shoulders down, away from the ears. Exhale. So it's a bit like doing a big backward breaststroke. Change the direction. Arms behind, rotate, bring them back up. Just take your time. Right, and release. And then just shaking out the arms. Okay, let's just take the feet 3 to 3.5 feet apart, stretching up with that right arm, sliding the left arm down. Breathing. So think more about the height rather than going too quickly over to the side. But then as you can, press that right foot into the floor as you slide down. Release. Release. So first of all, let's just go up, get the length, and then pressing down with the outside edge of that left foot, sliding the other way. And release. Yeah, I don't know about you, but you might feel it, the stretch at the sides of the hips. Okay, so from there, we're to go into a little tree stretch, tree pose I mean. So we're going to stand on the left leg and just bring our right leg up. Now, if you know that you need to have some support to do this, then if you get your chair, and make sure that you have your chair to the side of your standing leg, the leg that you're standing on, and you just want to have your hand just lightly on the chair. And then as you go into the balance, you can take your hand away, and then if you find that you're beginning to fall, you can just have the hand ready to come back to the chair. And then again, practice lifting it. Once you feel confident with the balance, stretch the arms out, turn your palms. Shoulders down, beautiful, nice, lovely. And reaching up for the ceiling, can you really feel that you're drawing your shoulders down the back? Think about the heel going into the thigh and the thigh going into the heel. So that lower abdomen gets activated. And then you can think about bringing the thumbs back behind you. Breathing. That's it, Kirsten, just work with, you can have one hand with the balance and one hand up in the air. And then just let go for a moment and be ready to bring your hand back as you need. Great, and then coming down. Okay, so if you are using a chair for your balance, you want to swap your chair to the other side, because we are going to have the chair next to the supporting leg, the standing leg. And bringing the left heel up. Now, as you can see on this left side, I've got a tendency to move my hip over to the left, but we're wanting to resist that. So you're wanting to think about bringing that right hip back towards the center. And then you can have your hand for your balance as you need it. And then when we're ready, lifting the arms to the ceiling. If you feel the need to keep one arm on the balance, just lift one arm up. And then you can have this free arm ready just for the light touch when it's required, and then you can let go again. Shoulders down. Straight elbows. Yeah, Kirsten, just keep one hand on your chair, and then just work like that, so that you've got it very close and you can easily realign your balance. Those of you that have got the arms up, see if you can get the thumbs behind you. Dropping the shoulders down. Trying to bring that hip towards the centre. That's quite challenging. You're having to really work the standing foot quite a lot. And then release. Great. And then just ease out. Okay, so we'll take the chair back to the top of the mat. We'll face down towards our chair. So we're 3/4 down the mat, facing our chair. So let's just turn our left foot slightly. We're bringing the right foot forward and the left foot back, and then we're going to just hinge at the top of the right leg. So I'm doing konasana, but you're seeing it from the back. So we're spreading our toes and we're hinging from the top of that right leg. And you can just take your hand where you need to. You may need to be a little bit higher. And then let your left arm float up. If you can slide down more. And if you're well down, you can bring your hand down to your leg. But notice by doing that, I'm not humping in my rib cage. I'm keeping both ribs the same length. Breathing. Shoulders away from the ears. Lovely. And then we're going to rotate to bring both hands onto the chair, and we'll just turn that back foot so it's now pointing towards your chair. And you may need to bring your back foot in a little bit closer because the stretch might be too strong otherwise. And initially, press down with that back heel. You'll feel the stretch in the back of that left leg. And then we're beginning to bring our weight of the trunk over the front leg, the right leg. So you want to think about lengthening your tummy out from the tops of your legs. So if you were laying your tummy onto the upper thigh, and if you can, you can begin to lower down. And then you'll notice that stretch coming quite strongly in the front leg. And let's just breathe into that. Now don't go too low. If you find it's causing you to really hump in your back, you can come up a little bit higher. But still think about transferring the weight to the front leg. And then wherever you've reached, think about lengthening from the crown of the head. Breathe. Okay, and then we're going to bend that front knee. Just place your hands onto the top of your chair and transfer your weight to the standing leg. Bring the back leg up. But keep your hips parallel, pointing down towards the floor. Lovely. Shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful, nice Hazel, lovely. Lovely Ruth, yep. And then to come down, we're going to just bend that foot, placing our foot carefully on to the mat. Just come into the forward stretch. And then we're going to just bring that knee back, bring the other foot to join, the back foot to join the front foot, and then we'll turn that into konasana. So we've got our feet parallel, just hanging forward, feeling the stretch through the back of both legs. And just think about letting your sit bones move up towards the ceiling. Lengthening the crown of the head, let the shoulders move back and down toward, or you're moving your shoulders, well actually you're moving them up, aren't you? You're moving them towards your waist, moving the shoulder blades in the direction of the waist. Okay, and then just push it up with your chair. So just keep that left leg where it is. We're going to just take that right foot back now. So we're prepared for trikonasana on the other side. So we've got left foot in front, right foot back, turning your right foot a little bit. We're going to hinge the top of the left leg. So when you hinge, remember that you want to keep both sides of the waist the same. So you've got your feet 3 to 3.5 feet apart. Left foot pointing towards your chair, right foot just slightly turned. Hinging. So if you find that when you go down that you're getting that kind of rounding of that upper, of your top ribs, then just come a little bit higher. You're going to feel that down the inner thigh. And then once you're ready, you can start to slide more. Some of you can get your hand down to your leg. So only do that if you keep nice long. I think you're doing a reverse there, Hazel. No, you're not. No, you're not. I see. No, you're fine. Yeah, that's it. Lovely. Yeah, you can bring your hand to your leg, I think. Lovely. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathing. Breathing. Nice stretch, lovely. Lovely. And then taking the hands onto the chair, I'm just going to turn that back foot. So both feet are facing the chair. If you need to, you may need to bring your foot forward a little bit. If the stretch is too intense. And see if you can press down through that back heel. Rotate your hips so that right hip is in line with the left hip. And then you're beginning to transfer your weight forward over your front leg. Yeah, don't lift yet, Trish. You're just going to bend forward first and feeling that stretch transferred now to the front leg. Softening into that, shoulders away from the ears, crown of the head lengthening. Forward. Breathing. Just notice where you feel that resistance. And as you breathe in, just breathe the breath to that tight area. And then as you exhale, you just see if there's any possibility of softening. Lovely. And then just bending that front knee a little bit. We're going to transfer our weight to that front leg, lifting up the back leg. And as we do that, keep your hips pointing down towards the floor, shoulders away from the ears. Really lift up that back leg, keep your shoulders back and down. You won't hunch your shoulders around your ears. So that's quite an interesting stretch on the standing leg, especially when you keep your hips properly aligned. Breathing. And then to come down, we're going to bend that front knee, come forward, and then we will just bring that back leg to join the front leg. So our feet are parallel, and we're going to do Uttanasana. Bending forward from the standing position. Let the spine be long. So think about cascading the spine from the sit bones, one vertebrae after the other. You're getting some articulation through your spine. So if you force yourself to go down too quickly, then what happens is your spine just starts to round and you lose that cascade effect. And then as you warm up, you can start to go lower. Some of you can get the hands onto the ground, and then you can bring the backs of the hands letting the weight of the gravity, let gravity pull your upper body down, which is giving you that stretch up around the buttocks and obviously the hamstrings. You can keep your hips over your ankles. So you're aiming to get the tummy in contact with the tops of the thighs. And then to come up, we will come back to our chair. Bend our knees, and then just take your arms back behind you like airplane. So you're coming up with a nice open chest. Great, okay, and then just ease out from that. Lovely. Okay, so we'll just do another couple of standing, but I'd like to do this one. If you've got a wall or a sofa you can use to support you, you can, because then we can sink a little bit lower. So we're taking our legs wider this time, 4 to 4.5 feet, and then turn our right foot out, left foot in. Well, actually, I've turned my left foot out, haven't I? So turn your left foot out, right foot in. And then all we're going to do is just slide down, keeping strong in the back leg. So we're aiming to get that knee to come over the ankle. And as you do that, resist in that left hip. Sorry, I'm getting my rights and lefts mixed up here. So we're bending the left knee, and we're going to resist with the right hip. So don't let your hip follow. You want to keep that hip rotating. So you're getting an opening in the front of the pelvis. So the shoulders are staying actually above the hip, and then we want you to lift the arms up and just gaze along that left knee, that left arm where the bent knee is. And then just see if you can sink a little bit more. See if you can drop. So ideally we're looking to get the thigh parallel to the floor. Beautiful. Breathing. Breathing. Lovely. And then inhale to come up. Very nice, Ruth and Hazel, I can see very clearly. Great, okay, so let's change side. So this time it is the right foot out, left foot in. So don't go too wide. So you want to make sure that you're stable and that you can keep your right knee over your right ankle. So for some people, you know, the position is going to look like that. And as you get confident with it and as you loosen up in the hips and your knees allow, you can start to bend more. And then we're going to gaze along, right arm, dropping down. Keep that back leg strong, shoulders down. And then inhale to come up. Very good. And we'll bring our legs back together and just gently ease out. Okay. So while we're in the standing, we'll just do a little leg stretch. So you might want to get a blanket or something to put on your chair. I'm going to get a rug. So we're facing our chair and we're going to bring our right foot up until we start to feel something happening in our leg, in our hamstring. And don't go too far. If you lift your leg too high before it's ready, you won't be able to keep your hips in line. So start off at a height that works for you. And if you don't feel anything happening, then you need to come up a little bit higher. So we are going to catch the hands behind the back, squeeze the shoulders together. Nice. Stretching through. That's it, lovely. And then let's start to hinge. So we're bringing that lower tummy onto the thigh. And then if you can, hold on to your foot or the chair. So it's actually a similar pose as we were doing from standing, but we've changed the plane. Yeah, Richard, can you just stay with that lovely, open the chest, just catch your hands, clasp your hands together and push the hands away. Now if you're not able to clasp them, you need your belt. And then lean back slightly, Richard, bring your hands down, open the chest. That's beautiful. Yeah, if you just work with that. And then keeping that position, you think about just bringing your tummy forward. No, not your head, keep your head where it was, lean back. And just think about bringing your tummy forward. You have to work your heel to get that action. Oh, that's it. Lovely. And then release. Good. Okay, let's change leg. So we're standing on that right leg. Bring your left heel up. Now don't bring it too high, just to where you can keep both hips on the same plane, but as soon as you find that the hip of the leg that you're lifting is higher than the hip of the standing leg, then if you can't bring them to the same level, then you need to lower your leg. And then let's just lean back a little bit so we get a lovely open chest, catch the hands. Now if you find that you can't really catch the hands without having your elbows bent, then this is a perfect use of the belt. So you just have the belt and open up like that. Yeah, keep your hands sliding down and close to your body initially. Squeeze your shoulders together. And then think about bringing your tummy forward. But keep your chest open. Let your chin drop, Richard. Drop your chin, that's it. Lovely. Now just stay with that. That's beautiful. Just keep breathing. Those of you that are able to can let go of the belt and bending forward more. Bring the hands in onto the foot, to that left foot. And you're thinking about laying your trunk onto that left thigh. And then to come up, open the chest again. Lovely open, clasp your hands, get that lovely open chest, sending your hands down to the floor. Great, and then release. Lovely. All right then, so from there, let's just head to the floor. So we're going to sit now, and if you find it's more helpful for you to have something to sit on, that you can keep your spine nice and aligned, then just check that you've got something, cushion or a couple of cushions, a yoga block. I've only got these yoga blocks, they're not ideal for sitting because they're a bit hard. But if you've got some of the rectangular ones, a couple of them. Or if, like me, you've got a bolster, they're very good as well. And then you're wanting to feel, just move your any flesh behind you so that you're more sitting on your sit bones and you have the feeling that you're hinging forward. So you're getting your pelvic tilt. Richard, can you just move your camera so that I can see more than your head? Can you tilt that? Great. And then we're taking our belt and hook around the right foot. And just lift up tall as we can. So from pubic bone to sternum, we want that to be as long as possible. And then we're going to just rotate to look around the left to the left. Now, when you do that, don't start by turning your head. Start by lead with your shoulder, your left shoulder, and your hand just stays in line with the shoulder because it's attached. But don't fling your left arm back, Hazel. Just make sure that you're leading with your shoulder, and then you let your arm should feel very easy. You're not pushing it. Because otherwise you just end up hyperextending ligaments and things here. Lifting. And send both sit bones down. Keep lifting up out of your, that's nice, Hazel, yeah. Keep lifting up out of your hips. And some of you can then work your hand down your leg. If possible, some of you can catch around your instep. And then we're going to bring that arm up, the left arm, rotate the arm. So your inner arm is facing towards your ear. Lovely. And then just stretch and see if you can rotate a little bit more. Turning. So you're rotating actually from that right hip as if it's turning towards your left hip. And keep going. Some of you can go lower. Keep turning. Keep a lovely straight arm. Beautiful. Nice, Richard. Breathing. Ruth, keep your arm straight. Keep turning. Rotate. Breathing. In through the nose. Out through the nose. And then inhale. Lovely to come. Great. Now, obviously, don't worry if you're not going all the way down. It doesn't deter from the benefits. If you're doing something like this, you're still preparing your body, you're getting all the benefits of the pose. But for some people, if they're in that position, they're not really working, so they have to go more in order to, you want to always feel that you're finding your edge, is what we call it here. Okay, so we're going the other way. So first of all, just start off nice, easy, not bending forward really, just straight, catching hold of that left leg, getting our lift up, and we're just going to rotate. So we're turning that right shoulder away from the left, rotating around to the right. Check that your arm is not leading. Let the shoulder lead. Get lovely and high. Rotate the arm, start to float it up, so if you can get the inner arm in line with the ears. Initially just stretching up. Then, if there is a possibility to work forward, then do. Some of you can catch around the inner instep, but otherwise you can just push the back of that left hand against the left knee, and then that helps you to turn. Keep the arms straight, just stretch. Yeah, rotate a little bit more there, Richard, so you're turning to look behind your right side. Yeah, that's it, lovely. Yeah, don't drop your arm, keep your arm pointing up to the ceiling for you, lovely. It's like you're trying to look under your armpit. Yeah, exactly. And then those of you that can slide down, off you go. You can bend your elbow and sit your head on your elbow. That gives you a nice bit of purchase. And then we're trying to catch around the foot with that right arm. So just find a position that you can sustain, softening and breathing into it. All the time we're trying to rotate to the right. We're trying to turn from that left hip to bring the left hip towards the right hip. It's quite a strong rotation, looking underneath the armpit. Breathing, breathing. Lovely, and then release. Good. So as you can see, there's a huge range of movement from going into the full pose to preparing for it, and it's important that you don't rush yourself, because you want to move in a way that your body can get the benefit. So if that's what you're doing, then that's really lovely, because there's a lot going on. You're pushing against your leg, you're getting that rotation, you're getting the stretch through the arm, you're looking underneath the right armpit. So there's still getting a lot of benefit, even if you don't think, oh, it only works if I'm bending right forward, because that's not actually the case. Lovely. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is a passive pose. So we're going to need to, I was just thinking for you actually, Kirsten, if you do that on your sofa, or on your chair, if you just come and put your legs on your chair, and if you do that, with, obviously resting. But the rest of us, we're going to do baddha konasana, but supported. So you need something to land your knees on, and you may need something under your head. So I've got my bolster, but you don't need the bolster. You can, so soles of the feet together, and you're allowing the knees to drop to either side. And then just pop anything underneath so that wherever your knees land, you don't feel any stress. Hazel, have you got something under your head? Just so get a feeling of your knees dropping out to the side. And you've got enough support under your knees that you're not finding yourself bracing your body. Because if you just free float your knees like that, your body starts to worry that you're going to overstretch. So it kind of braces to protect itself. And that is obviously counter what we're trying to achieve here, which is softening and relaxing. So just allowing your knees to fall apart. And if you feel no bracing going on, your groin area feels quite comfortable, you can try reducing the height and see if your knees are happy with that. Not your knees, it's mainly the groin actually. Well, to be fair, it might be the knees, but let your knees drop to the side and see if you can get that same level of releasing, so that you're not worrying, you're not bracing. If you find that you're bracing, you get that kind of feeling of resistance, that you're preventing your knees from dropping because you're worrying about overstretching, then you need to pop something else. Maybe midway between your first block and then, because you don't want to lift too high, because then that prevents any softening. There's nowhere for your body to soften, but you don't want to not lift high enough, because then you go into the brace. So it's a fine art. Only you can really tell with your body what feels the right height for your knees. I know some people are super flexible and they can just flop their knees to the floor. That's fine. If you're able to do that, lovely, just carry on. Breathing, shoulders back and down. You might also notice that one side potentially feels a little bit tighter than the other side. And then let's just bring the arms over the head. You can bend the elbows slightly. Breathing, softening. With every exhalation, just allowing the weight of the knees to descend onto whatever support you have there for them. Be it cushions or the floor, or a block or two. Softening at the back of the shoulders. Allowing the back of the ribs to be in contact with the floor. So you're not pulling the ribs up, you're not lifting up here, you're allowing the ribs to descend. You might need to lower your arms in order to get the ribs descending. Lovely. And then we're going to just bring the right knee forward. Keep that left knee open to the side, and we're just going to catch in the instep. Don't worry if you really can't catch, if you can't reach your instep, then you can use your belt. to catch, but keep your knee bent. Catch inside. And then I just want you to straighten a little bit. Now don't worry about, I don't want a straight leg, I want to see that knee stays bent, but we're sending the heel up to the ceiling. So you're going to feel, I want you to feel the stretch in the hamstring, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing. Breathing. And then let that knee go back into the baddha konasana position, and we're catching the left foot, bringing your knee towards the floor behind you. Good, that's it. And then straighten. Don't worry if your knee's still bent, but get a feeling of sending the heel up. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale. Every exhalation, can you straighten that leg a little bit more? But don't straighten it completely. Keep the knee slightly soft. Breathing. And release. Lovely. Good. Okay, and then let's bring our knees together, and if you've got something to put your feet on that you were using, then put your feet on that. We'll just take our right ankle in front of our left knee. If you're using the chair, you can do that from the chair first, and just bring your right knee. If you can, bring your right foot in front of your left knee. So we're getting a little glute stretch going on in that right glute. And check that we haven't hunched our shoulders. So keep these shoulders rolling back and down. So you've got lovely neutral chest. You haven't shrugged or gone squint. Pulling that knee towards your body, that left knee. And then change side. We're catching left arm through the gap. Pulling that right knee towards us. And then if you catch both knees with your hands, and just take a breath in as you exhale. See if you can push your knees slightly away from you, and see if you can bring your forehead toward your knees. Shoulders away from the ears and down. And again, exhale, push the knees away. Maybe hold your knees a little bit higher up, Hazel. No, slide your hands more up towards your knees, yeah. I don't know if that helps or not. Nice, Richard, lovely. And down. And then one more time, exhale. See, push your knees away so that you can get your head up. You have to push your knees against your hands. That's it. Push your knees away. You might want to use a belt if you've not got a very tight grip with your knees, you can use a belt around your knees, holding either side, and then push your belt away, bend the elbows just to see if you can get that lift up, and relax. Lovely. And then we're taking our cushion, or whatever we're using, in my case a bolster, to the right hand side, and let's just keep these knees towards the chest, bring them to the right as we rotate into that left shoulder, keeping the left shoulder down. Breathe it. Okay, and then switch to the other side, bringing the knees up, over, this time to the left, and we're rotating into the right. So we're doing a little squeeze of the spine, check that your right shoulders are well down, and also that you're not flaring the ribs, so the rib cage softens down towards the spine. Nice, and then from there we're going to just take a few minutes in our relaxation position. So those of you that know it's not a good idea to lie straight on the floor, you can do this position with your legs up on a chair. And get nice and close to the chair so you feel really supported in the legs, and your knees can just fall to either side. This is also a nice position to do if you've got any discomfort in the lower back, because it just helps to stretch out the lower back, and then you can just spend a few minutes in this relaxation position. If you're going from the floor, you can put something under your knees if you like. But you're checking that you're in a straight line, just allowing the feet to fall either side, tuck the shoulders under, bring the arms out to the side so the fingers, the palms face up, fingers come. Again, we're using our breath as you breathe in to take your breath to whichever part of the body you feel tension, for instance, the backs of the shoulders. And then as you exhale, get a feeling of allowing the weight of that part of your body just to fall a bit more heavily. It's almost like you're sinking the body, letting the body sink through the floor, through the mat. And then as you get that, as you are able to let go of the weight of your body to the support that's holding you, you can get this lovely lightness comes into your body, a nice floaty feeling, which is very relaxing. And just take a moment to breathe into the backs of your hands, or wherever your hands are in contact with the floor. And on the exhalation, again, kindly just let the weight of the hands drop a little bit more heavily onto the ground, onto the mat, wherever your hands are whatever your hands are touching. Breathing into the hands, exhale, just letting go. And then just when you're ready, we're going to prepare to take a deep breath, bringing our awareness to the body lying on the mat. Moving our fingers and toes, stretch the arms and legs, and just have a big stretch. And from there, we're going to roll up into our sitting position, using whatever chair we need to do that, to make that transition. For some people, I know it's not as simple as it might have been. So just whatever you need to get you round and pop into sitting so we can all finish together. Suddenly got rather dark. So take a moment to feel your body, feel your sit bones connecting to the ground. Sit up as tall as you can, crown of the head lifting, shoulders relaxed. Just going to take a few moments breathing. Close your eyes for a moment. Just scanning your body, just noticing how you're feeling. Lovely, and then bringing the hands together. Lovely, thank you so much. Beautiful.